Hello guys, today we are going to learn how to create this social media design I did recently. Now to get started, I'd like to show you this so that you know what you are doing when we start. So without wasting much time, let's go into Photoshop. So now in Photoshop you are going to create a 1080 by 1080 pixel canvas. So 1080 by 1080, and then we create that. After that, you see this background layer on my right side, so you click on this padlock here and then right click and then convert to smart object. After converting to smart object, head on to filter and then head on to noise. We are going to add some noise to give it some texture. So the noise is going to be 7, uniform and monochromatic. Okay, now we are done with our texture background. Then we lock this part. Now our next part is we getting our image. So this is the image. You can go to select and then subject, and then Photoshop will select the subject for you. And Photoshop will select the subject for you. So now when it is done, you just click on this layer mask to clear the background. See, Photoshop has done the magic. So what we are going to do is right click on this layer, convert to smart object. Now we can drag this to our working space here and then reduce the size here. So we're going to reduce the size here. Now let's transform this to this side. Yeah, I think this will be okay. Now nice. Realize that one thing we can do to this image to get more details is that we go to our filter, click on this image, go to filter and then go to your camera raw filter. We are going to add more details by sharpening the image. When you sharpen the image, you get a little bit of more details in it. So we go to details and then we sharpen it by 30%. That's 30. You get it. Now we go to our basic and then increase our vibrance to maybe 10 and then the contrast to 10 to get a little bit of color in it instead of being pale or desaturated. Now our next step is that we are going to draw a line. So one of the design principles is that whenever you are designing, make sure that everything is aligned. So we bring in this rule. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our data, our information, the text. So we go to our text. I'll be using a font called Galano. So click on this T here and then let's click here. I'm using black. We're using a font called Galano Grotesque, and pick my info here. So new offer on the table, copy it, come here and paste. So we're gonna increase our size, but let's break this into 2. Right, align. So you count 3, 1, 2, 3, bold, and let's increase our size. So hit Ctrl T, or you can hit Ctrl T and let's scale this here. So after scaling, good. Now let's bring the other info down. We are not done, so just go here and then copy this and paste. So with this is too bold, we go to the same font but 1, 2, 3, and then the font size will be half of this. Let's see. So the size of the head is 25, then half of this is going to be 12.5, and then this will be 12.5. Now you realize that they are too big, so you just hold shift and select the head too, and then we scale it to this side here, so that we get some margin on the right side. Now we're gonna add a price here, so right click and then select rectangle 2. So we add in our price here. After drawing our rectangle, we just head on to the property side, take away the stroke, and then we give the radius to about 30 and use 30. Yeah, I think this is okay. Now with this side, what we're going to do is, normally I save my gradient that I use often to speed up my work, so you can also try this to speed up your work. So just click this and then done. One thing I also do to make this more saturated is I go to my gradient overlay, and then I'll add the same gradient to 8, and then set the blend mode to overlay. I'll send it to overlay to make it more saturated. Now I'll go to my inner glow, and then I'll pick a color which is the lighter part of the gradient, the lighter part. Okay, now I'll set my opacity to 80, and then I'll add a little bit of noise with a little bit of sizing, and then it's okay. Make sure that you are using this curve, this contour here for your inner glow. Now you are good to go. So with this, I'll just hold Alt and drag my new offer on the table. I'll drag that text to duplicate it, and bring it to the top. So what you're going to do is that we are going to change the color to white, and then we type our price in here. So say Ghana cedis of 150. Okay, now let's increase our size. It's too big, and then we center it here. Wow, almost done. Now what we're going to do is that we are going to write a draw. Let's create a circle with an arrow on it. So we go to this side and our resources. Yeah, I have this SVG here. You can use the greater than sign or this, and then with this you draw a circle around it. We're going to draw a circle around this. So we'll take the fill out, and then we increase our stroke to 4. Let's reduce this a little bit. And let's center. Center this and Control J to group them. We are almost done here, and there. So you make sure that your stroke width and then your sign here are of the same size. The stroke width of the ellipse shouldn't be too big. Now Control 1 to view in 100%. Now let's add our text, our phone number, and then so we add our phone number. Let's copy it here and text, paste. Select everything. Should be black first of all. Secondly, should be capital letters. Thirdly, it should be 8 point. Okay, so let's bring this here. Now hit Ctrl J to duplicate, or you can hold Alt and drag down. Now what's the number here? Let's copy it, copy, and then we paste it. So after pasting, make sure that you increase the size, and then you change the font weight. So we increase it to maybe 12, and then the font weight should be 1, 2, 3. So you scale from bold to semi-bold is 1, semi-bold to medium is 1, and then medium to regular is 1. 3 times. So this is it. Let there be a little bit of space. Now we group these to the WhatsApp number and then the WhatsApp head. Hope you remember the process. Yeah, control change to group. Now we reduce our size here and duplicate that group again by hitting Control J. Hold shift and then use your down arrow key to move it down. Release. Now let's go to our WhatsApp head. Let's change the head to Instagram. So we paste without formatting, and okay, nice. Now we go to this side and pick this guy here, copy and paste. Make sure this selected. Very good. Now we're almost done. So we select these two because they are so big and out of the canvas, so we are going to select them and reduce their size. And then we reduce the size a little and shift them inside. Very good. Shift them inside. Now I don't feel this thing here. Realize that this part is not aligned. So what we are going to do is you make sure that this part is also aligned. So we increase this size here to meet up. Very good. So now after meeting up, realize that okay, this side is also aligned, but this part here is also not aligned. So we group everything and increase their size a little bit down. Okay, now we are going to select everything on this canvas except our photo, the image of the man, so leaving that one out. After that, hit Ctrl T, right click, and you select skew. So now with the skew, when it comes to this side, you see that it comes with this arrow here, up and down arrow here. So we just, I don't know whether this is the right name. So this up and down arrow here, realize that when you drag it up, this number head-ons to the negatives, but when you drag it down, it heads on to the positives. So we want to drag it up, and then we'll send this towards -4. -4. Very good. Okay, now we are going to shift this to this side a little, and then we'll click this man and bring him on top, so that to make our design feel as if it's everything was on the background. Let's clear all our guides, make it feel as if he was every information was on the background. Now what we are going to do next is we are going to add this flip thing here, this flip thing here. Very good. But then this flip thing, let's add we are now trying to make everything shiny, make everything pop. So we are adding our elements. So let's add these particles. So after adding these particles, realize that it has covered everything, but the majority is black. When the majority is black and we want all the bright side to show, we use this fourth part of the blend modes. Is it blend modes or blend whatever? So this second part, not the normal dissolve, no, not the darkened side, but the third part, sorry. So we have lighting, screen, color dodge, linear dodge, and lighter color. But we choose screen light. You can choose lighting, but for this one, let's choose screen light. Now you realize that it is not that popping, but one thing we can do is that before we add this particle, we are going to add some brightness to our image. So we hit this and create a new layer. Pick up your brush and select a color, yellow, because this thing, our particles here is yellow and we want that one to pop. So we pick yellow and then make sure that your hardness set to 0, and then you add some brightness here, some brightness here. Yeah, you don't see anything yet, but the magic happens when you change the mode to screen and then you add your particles. Now I realize that it's like something was shined from below the man and it popped out, something like that. So it gives it a nice feel. Now what we're going to do next is we are going to add our plastic rubber thing, our plastic rubber texture here. Yeah, we're almost done. So make sure that the flip thing is on top. It's likely I'll be leaving the resources in the description below, so you can try, and then after doing it you tag me on Instagram when you post it. So this plastic thing here, you are also not seeing anything, but when you change the blend mode to screen, that's when you realize that yes, you have done something very really nice. So you feel this plastic, but then if you feel that this plastic texture here is covering some of your informations, one thing you can do is go to your layer style and go to blending options. When you go to blending options, you can come to your blend if. So with your blend if, you can bring this guy here, or you can hold Alt and click here, and as you drag it to the middle here, realize that there has been some changes here, but you're not seeing it yet. And then you come to the darker side here too and hit Alt and click. So that's it. You can reduce your opacity too if you feel that it is covering a lot of your information. That's what you can do. Now you are done with what you are doing. Now you can choose to add your logo here, you can choose to add your logo at the top. Whatever you want to do, you can do it anyhow, but make sure it is aligned to what we have on the canvas. For me, I decided to put my logo at the bottom here because my logo is not supposed to be distorted. It's part of my branding. My logo is not supposed to be distorted, so I place it at the bottom here so that it will be different from the canvas. Now whatever you wish to do, you can do, and this brings us to the end of this tutorial. You can try this on your own with the resources in the description. Thank you for watching. Please wait, I would like you to subscribe and like this video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.